Alright folks, we're out for another evening, and just along this path in a crack in the wall we have found another many-banded krait. This is, I would say, a sub-adult, just about getting into adult size, but pretty cool find. We're literally just a couple minutes into the night, so you know, pretty good sign for what may come. This is his head just here. There he is. And we've seen lots of these, so I won't get into the details, but everybody knows they're Hong Kong's most toxic snake, but they're also pretty docile. And this time of year, they're definitely out and about. And so far, I mean, this is getting to be one of the more common snakes we find, which is great. They're really cool. This guy seems a little bit nervous, so I'm going to go ahead and leave him alone. We won't watch him too much longer. But really good find early in the night. So we will check back in if we find something else. Okay, folks. We've got our next snake of the evening. This is actually the... Go back. This is actually the third snake. We also saw an Anderson stream snake, but it wasn't easy to get to, so we passed on that. But we've seen those before on the vlog, so not too big a deal. And now we have what most of you may remember who've been watching the vlog is a white-spotted slug snake. And this is another pretty little variant. He's got some nice white flecks, but also some sections around here that are mostly black. And I'm not really barely even touching his head here. I'm just kind of putting my finger in front of him while he moves, because he's a little bit active. But yeah, these are slug and snail-eating specialists. They're quite cute little snakes. And this guy's just out and about on this wet evening looking for a meal, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and leave him to it. And we're going to get going and see if we can find something else. And there he goes. Okay, folks, on to snake number 4, and this time we have a beautiful tiny little bamboo pit viper set up on this wall, looking down, hoping for a gecko to run by, I assume. Although I bet it would take a small frog as well. These are one of the most common snakes on our vlog, so I won't get into it, but they're a really nice little species of viper that we are very fortunate to find in abundance in Hong Kong. So pretty good night for the snakes so far. Still a bit early, just getting to the witching hour now. So we're going to keep at it, and we will check back in with you if we find something else. Well, folks, it's not a snake, but we have a spider who has gotten himself a meal in the form of this moth. And we just happen to be here for the show. So maybe we'll just watch this play out for a minute or so. Pretty intense stuff. May not be enjoyable for everyone, so feel free to flip ahead if it's not your bag, but you can see here the spider's already done injecting the venom, and it's already starting to wrap up the moth. You can see there the strands of web coming out. And it'll make pretty quick work of this, I think. See there, it looks like it's envenomating it again. Not sure if it'll start eating it that quickly, but pretty intense stuff. Alright, interesting sideshow here. But I think we're gonna try and get ourselves back to the snaking now. Okay folks, we've got our next snake, and it's another bamboo pit viper. And this time it is far away and across up a ledge. So we're not gonna get a close-up shot, but we get to see it on the move, which is always nice. Just a little one, I can tell from where I'm standing. A little bit hard to see on the video, I know, but can't really tell what it's up to. I imagine it's trying to make its way down to a spot where it can do some hunting. A pretty cool spot. It's been a little while without seeing anything, so happy to see this. But we're gonna go ahead and keep going and see if we can find something else. All right, folks. We haven't found any more snakes yet, but found this funny little guy, who I doubt this is biting off more than he can chew, but he's definitely got a big meal going in tonight. So this is a common Asian toad and an earthworm. Very cool little herp predation video. Now normally they'd be swallowing this down real quick, so I think I'm bugging him a little bit. So we'll go ahead and leave him be. But cool spot. My buddy actually spotted it as we were walking out. Oh, there he goes. Maybe we will watch for a second. Alright. Well, we don't want to bug him too much. We'll let him go now, I think. Alright, folks. On the walk out, I thought we were just about done, but we have found a trusty common wolf snake, one of our other top finds on the vlog. And he is just slithering down this little curb and onto the road. And this is a little bit of an abandoned road, so I'm sure he feels quite comfortable moving around and hunting here. A little bit annoyed with me, but he gets himself into a pretty position as a result. But yeah, I'd be surprised if we come across anything else. So this will probably close us out for the night, but if not, we will pop back on and show you what we find. Alright folks, we're at the start of another walk, and it's not quite sundown yet, but managed to come across another one of these beautiful little golden burrowing rufous snakes. So this is the second one we found in about a week's time, so I won't dwell on it, but I'll link the last video here as well, so you can check that out. But these are pretty fantastic little fossorial snakes, and this is a full-grown specimen. Might be able to get a little bit bigger than this, but not much. And they're quite interesting. Like I said, they're fossorial, so they spend most of their time underground, in the leaf litter, stuff like that. And they're pretty plain looking generally. The gold here obviously is quite nice looking. They also come in a black variant, but one thing you might be able to notice with this light is the iridescence on the scales. Gives a nice rainbow iridescence under the right kind of light. So, yeah, pretty interesting little species. And we don't see them that much, so it's kind of nice to be able to see one. You know, as the year goes on, I imagine we won't see quite as many of these. Also, one really interesting thing is these guys, they're subcaudal scales. That's the scales underneath the tail section here. It's just one row of scales on the subcaudals, which a lot of snakes have split subcaudals in Hong Kong. So that's another bit of an interesting fact about this species, which is kind of cool. And there's his little head. But we're going to go ahead and let him go right here, up on this ledge, so that he's pretty safe. He can make his way off that way into the leaf litter. And there he goes. Alright, nice quick start. We'll go ahead and keep walking and see if we can come up with something else. Alright folks, we're still just at the start here, and yeah, I don't want to waste too much time, but came across this really beautiful unicorn beetle. It's their common name anyways. I unfortunately don't remember the scientific name, but this is a pretty big specimen. You can see here, that is a decent sized little beetle, and he is just crawling his way up this tree here and is pretty chilled out, so I don't want to mess with him too much. It looks like he might drop off if I get too close, but pretty cool little find just at the start. A nice decent sized insect. So yeah, fun stuff right at the beginning. We'll keep it going. Pop back on if we find anything else interesting. Alright folks, we've got our first venomous snake for the evening. This, as many of you know, is a many-banded krait. This is Hong Kong's most toxic snake species, and one I find quite a bit around here. I'm not really going to try and disturb him. They're not a good snake to mess with. Even though they're quite docile, better to let them go. But he was just crossing the path right in front of me. Pretty cool. Good sign that they're out. Usually means other stuff is probably going to be out. So we will keep at it. So just walking back down the path and came across this guy, and I'm pretty sure it's the same one we just saw. That came back out onto the path as I was walking by. So this one's out and about now. He got a little bit freaked out when I walked a little bit close, so he's in defensive mode now, but pretty cool snake. This one's interesting. It's a smaller many-banded krait, but it's got the distinctive yellow coloration up by the first third, where the white should be. That's pretty characteristic of mature specimens, less so of smaller ones like this, but looks like he's getting a bit more comfortable, so I think we'll probably just move on and let him go about the business of hunting, which is what he's up to. But pretty cool to see it on the return like this. Alright, next snake, we have another rufous snake. And this time it's another one of the darker color variants. So we've seen one of these before as well. It seems like we're in a good time of year for them. This is a smaller one. I'd call this a subadult to a juvenile, but also pretty good looking snake. Shiny scales, subfossorial, fossorial. Yeah, pretty cool find. Looks like the snakes might be out tonight, so we're still relatively early. I think this bodes well for the rest of the evening. Okay, looks like we're gonna catch this guy maybe as he ends up in a rock crevice. But it's another many-banded krait much further down the trail, and he's being very kraity on the hunt. Looks like maybe you can't get all the way in that crevice, so we might get to see him come out in just a second. Let's hang back. I'm actually kind of pointing up on a embankment to get this guy. He's a little bit further away, but pretty cool to watch them on the move like this. Looks like it may have found its way into the crevice, so keep an eye just for a second or two more. Who knows, you might yank another snake out of there. I think that might be it. Yep. Alright. Pretty cool that we managed to grab that. That all happened pretty quick. Alright, back at it. Alright folks, next snake of the night. No surprise here. It's another many-banded krait out on the hunt. Pretty cool to see so many of these guys in one spot. And we've got something going on out here. Sounded like something might have been getting attacked, but anyways, let's get back to our krait here. And this one's also across the way on a ledge. This is a full-grown one. Very calmly on the hunt. Very cool. Anyways, let that one get back to it, and we will keep on moving. Alright folks, one more many-banded krait for the evening. I don't think we'll stick on him too long. He's hunting around. He'll probably just go about it at his leisure. So we're going to keep moving. These guys are great, but it'd be pretty awesome if we mixed up the species diversity just a touch. Good luck on your hunt, buddy. Alright folks, it is the night of the rufous. This is another gold burrowing rufous at a different section of the path. And really pretty one, also full grown. Also got some really nice iridescent scales. See if I can get it to focus there. Yeah, really cool. Really enjoy these guys, and I guess 2 species is still pretty fun. Would be awesome if we could tag on one more before the end of the night, but I'm pretty happy with all these many-banded kraits and rufous. Alright, I'll grab a few pictures of this guy and then we'll get back to it. Alright folks, I think this will end up being our last snake for the night, but it is a trusty bamboo pit viper. We've seen lots of these on the vlog, and this one's about to make its way into the underbrush, so we're not going to bug it, but pretty cool closer. Obviously an off chance we'll find something else on the short walk to the road, but you know, this is a pretty good one if we don't. So, good night, pretty good results. We'll check back in again if we find something else. Otherwise, we'll sign off for tonight. Alright, I spoke too soon. We have got one more snake further way out, and who knows, maybe more, but I don't think so. But we have the winner for the night, the many-banded krait again. So I think this is number 4 or 5 for tonight. Pretty popular snake this evening. This one's a decent size. You're not too happy about me being here. And this one's kind of cool. He's really all bright white, none of that yellow coloration towards the neck. And he's in a real frenzy here. Definitely not too happy with me, but even as I walked up on him, before he even noticed me, he was super active, moving super fast. So maybe he's on the hunt and he's got the scent, but there he goes either way. Potential cool last find, but we'll pop back on if there's anything else in the next couple 100 meters before we hit the road.